it shine. Shine all over the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Shine all over the world. Well, I'm gonna let it shine. Shine all over the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, well, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it
shine. The Holy Tales.
Hello, my name is Tubby. I live here in this wonderful library and I love to eat books. I live here with my friends Gumbo and Freckles. Gumbo, Freckles, come out, wherever you are. Over there, on that great book, is Grand Old Holy. She is really old and wise and tells us wonderful stories when she is awake, that is. Oh, and we love to sing.
I've got the joy down in my heart. Where down in my heart? Where down in my heart? I've got the joy down in my heart. Where down in my heart to stay?
Holy, what is today's story about?
Today's story is about how a fish saved Jonah and spit him out.
What? A fish spit him out? Stop it, Tubby. Just listen to the story.
Okay, children. A long, long time ago, God had given a man called Jonah a job to do. Instead of listening to God, Jonah set off in another direction. Suddenly, there was a dangerous storm and the waves were running very high. The boat was tossing and turning in the middle of the sea. Everyone on the boat was really scared. They did not know what to do. They tried to lighten the boat by throwing stuff overboard, but it did not help. They asked Jonah to pray to his God to rescue them. Jonah, in his heart, knew that it was because of him that the lives of others were in danger. He told his fellow sailors,
"Throw me into the water!"
Jonah knew that God was with him and he would rescue Jonah. The sailors tried hard to row to the shore, but they were very tired and could not row any longer. Praying for forgiveness to God, they threw Jonah into the water. To everyone's amazement, the sea stopped raging at once. God heard Jonah's prayers and sent a huge fish to rescue him. Jonah was inside the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. Jonah prayed to God for help from inside the fish's belly. God spoke to the fish. When the time came and it was safe for Jonah to come out into the world, the fish spit him out. And now, here is a question for you. What did Jonah do when he was inside the fish's belly?
I think he ate up the fish from inside. No, silly. He prayed to God so that God would rescue him.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Gumbo.
I've got the joy down in my heart. Where down in my heart? Where down in my heart? I've got the joy.
The Holy Tales.
A long time ago, there were many, many people on the earth. And everyone did whatever they wanted to without love for each other. They cared more about themselves than they did about other people.
Yes, it is. Hey, come back here. Stop it.
God was very sad because everyone had forgotten his way. Everyone, that is, except for Noah and his family. Noah and his family worked very hard, and they kept all of God's ways in their hearts.
All right, that's enough for today. You boys can finish that tomorrow.
But Father, we almost had it. Just a few more minutes.
God knows how hard you work, Japheth, my boy, and so do I. But God also wants us to keep up our strength so that we can do his work.
You're right again, Father. You must be the wisest man in the world.
Me? Oh, no. I might be the happiest man in the world, but the wisest? I think not. But enough talking. We'd better hurry. I think we're having your mother's stew tonight. We wouldn't want it to get cold.
Noah and his family had a hard life, but they loved each other very much, and they always had enough to eat. Noah never forgot that it was God who made all of those things possible.
And thank you, God, for everything you've given to me and my family. Thank you for the strength to work hard, and for fields that are good for growing, and for the food on our table. Amen.
Amen.
What's this? It sounds like we have visitors. Well, you must be hungry. Dear, will you please bring me a bit of meat and a bone from the stew? I think our friends need something to eat. All of God's creatures are important. There you go. Enjoy. Nothing like a good dinner, isn't that right?
You're a good man, Noah.
More?
One night after supper, everyone kissed Noah good night and went to bed. But Noah didn't go to bed at his usual time. He had a strange feeling.
You look sleepy, dear. Why don't you go to bed?
Are you coming?
Soon. I don't feel tired. I think I'll go out and look at the stars for a bit.
Noah went out of his house for some fresh air. He had a feeling he couldn't explain. He didn't know that God was leading him outside.
Ooh, what is this?
Noah?
God, is that you?
Yes, Noah, it is. Please listen to the important things I have to say to you. Noah, people do not love one another as they should. So I have decided to wash the earth with a flood and start over.
This is terrible news.
Don't be afraid, Noah. I'm telling you this because you are the only man who still has me in his heart. I have chosen you and your family to help me start over. Listen carefully. I want you to build a boat, Noah, an ark.
So much to do. I've got to get my boys and have them help me. Wake up! I need you to help me with a big project. Ooh. Yes, I'm serious. An ark. A big, big ark. It's okay. Go ahead and laugh. You'll see. This field should be big enough.
Build it from fresh, sticky wood. Make it 450 feet long, 75 feet across, and 45 feet high. Seal the planks with tar. And inside, build an upper, middle, and lower deck.
High five!
Make an opening all the way around the ark, just below the upper deck.
Yay!
And last, put a door in the side big enough for the largest animals of the earth to walk through. Next, bring 2 of every animal on the earth with you, each with a safe place on the ark.
Noah and his family worked very hard.
Father, we're finished!
We have done well, my sons.
Where is this old man who says a flood is coming? Lead me to the crazy fool.
My father is no fool.
Only a fool would build a big silly boat in the middle of his field. Now let's take a good look at... You really are a crazy old man. Anyone who would do this...
You would be wise to listen to what I say. God has told me that a terrible flood is coming. So much to do, so little time.
Father?
It's fair to warn them, Shem.
Warn us about what? The flood that's never coming? Come on, let's get out of here. Let's leave this crazy old man alone.
There now. Thank you for helping us. I guess we made ourselves some friends, eh? And it looks like we have our first passengers. Now, if I can only figure out how we're going to find all the rest of the animals.
Shh, quiet now, you two. Can't you see he's trying to think?
Father, look!
It's a miracle!
And it was a miracle. God had done something wonderful. He'd brought 2 of every animal to the ark. And they were on their very best behavior. Even the lions lay down with the lambs.
Tigers? Wildebeests? Zebras? Whoa! God will protect us all. Well, that does it. Everybody's here.
What do we do now, Father?
We wait for the rain.
It doesn't look like we'll have to wait long, Father. Look!
Suddenly, the clouds began to gather and cold winds began to blow.
Noah, the time has come to take your family and the animals onto the ark. Soon the rain will stop.
Let's go! Everybody on?
All clear down here. Ready. I'll close the door.
Don't be afraid, my dear. God will protect us all.
The rain covered the whole earth. Even the highest mountains disappeared underwater. Except for the animals and people on the ark, there was nothing else left. During their long trip, Noah and his family became very close with the animals. They were all good friends.
Groundhogs hide and monkeys climb and long-eared rabbits run. With this bunch, I have a hunch we'll have fantastic fun.
Hyenas laugh at the touch of
watched to see when the rain would stop, but it just kept coming down. It rained and rained like it would never stop. It rained for a month, then another week. Then, after 40 days and 40 nights, the rain stopped. Noah was so excited, he called a family meeting.
I've called you all here because I have a surprise for you. The rain has stopped.
What? That's wonderful!
This is too good to be true. When do we get off?
Well, I think if all goes well, the ground should start to peek through in about another, 6 months or so.
Everybody was disappointed to hear this news, because although they all loved one another, they were all pretty tired of being on that ark. But they waited patiently. Many months passed.
Well, what did you see? What did you see?
Same as always. Nothing but sea.
We're never going to get off this boat. How are we even going to know if the land is dry?
How are we even going to know if we're anywhere near land? This is hopeless.
Now what kind of talk is that? Are you the same men who helped me build God's ark? Hasn't he looked out for us this long?
Of course. Father is right. But can we at least try to find out if there's any dry land?
This got Noah thinking. Finally, he got an idea. He went and got one of the ravens and brought him to the slit in the ark. Then he let him go. He thought if the raven found land, he might bring something back with him. But when the raven returned, he didn't bring anything with him. So Noah decided he would try letting a dove go.
Good luck!
But the dove returned with nothing as well. But Noah knew God wouldn't abandon them. He waited a while longer. Then, one last time, he sent out the dove again. This time, when the dove returned, it brought something back. In its mouth, it carried a branch from an olive tree.
Father, this is wonderful news. We must be very close to dry land.
Yes, son. If you believe in God, he will save us all.
And you protected us too.
And sure enough, very soon, the ark landed on top of a tall mountain. When it was safe to come out, God spoke to Noah again.
Noah, you and your family and the animals can come out now. The earth is dry. Go out into the world and have many children, and tell them about me. And so you will always know that I won't ever flood the world again. I'm going to leave a gift in the sky after it rains. Something to remind you of my promise.
And so Noah and his family thanked God for all he had done for them. And Noah's sons had many, many good and strong children who loved God very much.
Do you know how the world began? How God created it by hand? From mighty mountains to the raging sea, to every leaf on every single tree. It's in the holy book. Just open up and take a look. It's a story for young and old, the greatest story ever told. So lend an ear and you will hear the greatest story. The greatest story.
Many years ago, in a land called Egypt, there lived a very mean king. Egyptian kings were called pharaohs.
Faster! Better! More!
The Pharaoh made all of the people of Israel living in Egypt work as slaves. They had to build the buildings and lift many heavy things. They had no time to rest and little to eat. They were not free, and they were very unhappy. But the worst thing of all was, one day the Pharaoh decided that the firstborn sons of the Israelites would be killed.
Oh, no! They won't get my baby. I'll find some way to save him.
Jochebed, the mother of Moses, decided to float her baby down the river.
Shh, don't be afraid. I won't let the Pharaoh hurt you. Your sister Miriam will be right here to make sure you're safe. What's that?
A baby.
Oh, this poor baby needs a home. I'll take him to the palace and take care of him there.
Excuse me, Princess. If you need a nurse for the baby, I know a good one who lives nearby. Her name is Jochebed.
Thank you. Bring her to the palace.
They named the baby Moses, and he was raised in the Pharaoh's palace as an Egyptian. But Jochebed was near Moses while he was a child to teach him right from wrong.
Ha! Moses, time for your lessons. Now, did you do your homework?
Sure I did. When I went out this morning, I saw a slave master hitting one of the Israelites.
He was wrong, Moses. All people should be treated with respect.
And Jochebed taught him that the Israelites in Egypt were unhappy because they were not free. Many years later, when Moses grew up to be a strong young man, he came upon some Egyptians who were treating people very poorly.
You're lazy. Get up, and get back to work right now, or else.
Leave him alone. You shouldn't treat anyone like that.
He deserves it. He's pretending he's hungry and tired because he's too lazy to work. I'm teaching him a lesson about...
Leave him alone.
It was very unusual for someone to help an Israelite like that. Everyone told each other what happened. Moses was sure he had done the right thing. But he knew the Pharaoh would be very angry. So Moses left Egypt all by himself, knowing that he was really an Israelite. He wanted to go to another land where he would not have to see his people be treated so badly. After traveling for 40 days, Moses found himself in the land of Midian. In Midian, Moses got married and had a family. He lived in Midian for so long that he almost forgot about Egypt and about the poor Israelites. Until one day, Moses was looking after a flock of sheep up in the hills, and it was there that he saw an amazing sight.
Come here, little guy. I'll get you. Now I've got you.
Huh? Moses, come closer.
Who's there?
God. The Israelites in Egypt are unhappy because they are not free. Go to the Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go.
Why have you chosen me?
Don't be afraid. I will be with you.
But will they believe me?
I will give you signs to show the people that I am with you. Throw your staff on the ground. Now reach down and pick it up by the tail. Trust me, the people will believe you. Now go.
And so Moses returned to Egypt to do what God said.
Are you Moses? I have heard about you. What are you doing back here after all these years?
I am here because God sent me. He wants you to free the people of Israel.
Oh, he does he? Too bad for him. Who is this God, anyway? I've never heard of him. Have you?
No, sir, your most royal, wonderful highness.
Well then, this god of yours must not exist, right?
Yes, your most royal, wonderful highness.
Right. You there, come here. We're too nice to the Israelites. After all, they have a big, strong God on their side. Tell my slave masters not to give them any more straw for the bricks they make. From now on, they have to find their own straw.
Yes, your most royal, wonderful.
I said go! Ha! Don't try and tell me what to do. I'm the Pharaoh.
It's time for your bath, your royal highness.
I won't give up that easily.
And so Moses returned.
God wants you to let the Israelites go free.
Oh, haven't we already done this? It'll take a miracle before I listen to another word you're saying.
See the power of God, the only true and living God.
Oh! Silence! Nothing but foolish tricks. Besides, watch this. Think twice before you try to trick me again.
I am not trying to trick you. I am warning you. God can perform many miracles.
Ha! That proves nothing. Get out of my sight.
I'll be back.
And the next morning, Moses did come back.
Pharaoh, let the Israelites go free. If you do not, God will let plagues happen to Egypt. The plagues will bring very bad things.
No!
See for yourself the power of God.
It is blood.
Just another magic trick. Ugh. Go away. You again? What do you want now?
Let my people go. If you don't, God will let frogs come all over the land. Frogs will sleep in your bed and eat your food and...
Frogs? I love frogs. Why, when I was a little boy... never mind about that right now. Who cares about a few frogs? Get out of here. Find Moses and bring him to me. Now. You, make the frogs go away.
Do you promise to let the Israelites go free?
Yes, yes, just get rid of these pesky things.
God made the frogs go away, but the Pharaoh didn't keep his promise. He did not free the people of Israel. So God allowed more plagues to happen in Egypt. God let lots and lots of gnats come to Egypt. They flew everywhere. Flies flew everywhere. But the Pharaoh still wouldn't let the Israelites go, so the animals got very sick. And then boils grew on the skins of the Egyptians. And terrible hail fell down from the skies. And the locusts came. And ate their clothes. Next, everything was as dark as night for 3 whole days. Each time a plague happened to Egypt, the Pharaoh promised to let the people of Israel go free. But each time he changed his mind and broke his promise.
Now will you let the people of Israel leave?
No, I will not.
I've tried to warn you, but you won't listen. Please hear me now, or you'll be very sorry. The last plague will be the worst. The firstborn sons of the Egyptians will die.
What has your God done? He has taken my son from me. Leave Egypt at once and take your people with you.
Moses told the Israelites to get ready to leave Egypt right away. He knew the Pharaoh might change his mind again, so they packed and left as fast as they could.
I can't believe we're actually going.
It's just as Moses promised.
A land where we could be free. It seems like a dream.
But it's not a dream. At last, we're on our way home.
Single file for a while, then scatter to and fro. Trusting Moses knows his way, singing as we go. Mighty Moses and the Israelites, thousands of sandals in the sand. Mighty Moses, what an amazing sight, leading us on to the promised land. The day has dawned to journey on to a brand new place. A fire will light our way by night, a cloud will guide by day. Mighty Moses and the Israelites, thousands of sandals in the sand. Mighty Moses, what an amazing sight, leading us on to the promised land. Hand in hand through desert sand, answering God's call, following our leader's lead to freedom for us all. Mighty Moses and the Israelites, thousands of sandals in the sand. Mighty Moses, what an amazing sight, leading us on to the promised land. Mighty Moses and the Israelites, thousands of sandals in the sand. Mighty Moses, what an amazing sight, leading us on to the promised land.
And so, finally, the people of Israel left Egypt on the way to their homeland, the land of freedom. By day, a pillar of smoke guided them. And by night, a pillar of fire showed them the way. But back at the palace, the Pharaoh had changed his mind again.
I was a fool to let them go. Who will build our pyramids and grow our food and fan me when it is warm? We must get the Israelites back. Call my chariot.
In the meantime, the Israelites had reached the Red Sea.
Moses, look behind us! The Pharaoh's army!
They'll be here soon. Oh no!
Moses, what have you done to us? We would have been better off living unhappily in Egypt rather than dying here in the desert.
Don't be afraid. God will protect us.
Don't hurry, Moses. Rest tonight. Tomorrow morning, raise your hand and stretch out your staff over the sea. It will part, and you will be able to go through on dry land.
Stop! We will stay here till morning. Then we'll recapture them.
And when morning came, Moses stood by the sea and waved his hand over the waters. And the sea parted, just as God had promised.
Come on, follow me.
After them!
Here they come again. What are we going to do?
Just wait.
Then the sea fell upon the Egyptian army and stopped them.
Thank you, God, for saving us.
The Israelites passed through the Sinai Desert on their way to the land of Israel. When they were hungry, God sent them food.
Mother, look! What is it?
It was sweet, tasty bread that God had sent to feed the people. The Israelites called it manna, which meant, "What is it?" When the Israelites were thirsty, God sent them water.
I want milk instead.
When the Israelites reached Mount Sinai in the middle of the desert, they set up camp near the foot of the mountain. It was time for God to give the people His laws.
What is happening, Moses? What does God want?
God is calling me. I am sure He has great plans for us. I must go ahead.
And Moses climbed to the top of the mountain.
I am ready for you.
I have rules that I want to give the people of Israel. If they follow them, I will protect the people. Chisel out 2 stones and I will write them down. Always respect your father and mother. Do not kill anybody. Do not steal anything.
God gave many other laws. He also told Moses how to build the home of worship where the Israelites would pray to God. God also told Moses that everybody should rest on the 7th day, just like he did when he created the world.
Thank you, God.
And this is how Moses led the people of Israel back to their homeland with the power of God and his sacred laws. These laws are called the 10 Commandments. Throughout the long journey, God helped Moses guide the Israelites home.
Let's sing the New Testament. Let's sing the New Testament. Let's sing the New Testament. 1, 2, 3, 4. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Acts, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, Jude and Revelation. These are the books of the New Testament. Let's sing the New Testament. Let's sing the New Testament. Let's sing the New Testament. 1, 2, 3, 4. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Acts, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, Jude and Revelation. These are the books of the New Testament.